God has made. Today is another wonderful day that Lord has made. We have a question here in my table which has been generating controversies and most especially to the modern age marriage. We want to discuss about marriage today because marriage is very, very important. It's very, very crucial in our environment, and this instinct, many people have been misled, and we need to admonish ourselves. We need to encourage ourselves. We need to put ourselves through some situations. There are certain things we need to know. When the question came to me that who is the head in the family, it's a common thing we know. Being an African person, we all know that the husband in the family is the head of the family. But this has been a contentious issue for a very long time. Most especially our new age marriage has been contending it. No, it shouldn't be. Because my salary is so fat, I take care of home, I collect huge salary than my husband, I pay students and our children's school fees. We do a lot of things. I think the contentious meaning should be the person that collects the highest salary in the family. This has been generating heat. But there's something we call love in the family. Bible made us to know that love covereth all things. But despite that, we need to know. Let's go to the Bible. Let's call Bible injunction to see, admonish ourselves what Bible talk about or says about leadership of home when it comes to the tune of marriages. Now, I will read from the book of Ephesians. Here I learn, says, Ephesians 5:23, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Bible made us to know that the husband is the head of the wife, even though you are collecting salary bigger than your husband. Even though you age, many marriages, the husband older than the wife. It doesn't matter. What God said is what we go about. The husband is the head of the family. The husband is the head of the wife. The husband is the head of the affairs. Everything that comes up in the family, the husband needs to take responsibility. For husband is the head of the wife, even as the Christ is the head of the church. Bro Paul said, he uses Christ and the church as the molder. Therefore, the husband leadership should resemble Christ's love and sacrifice leadership, not dominations. In the sacrifice leadership. That's where the war begins. When you talk about sacrifice leadership, you talk about responsibility at this point. When you talk about responsibility, you talk about love. How much you love your spouse, your husband, or your wife, rather. How much you love. how much you care for your children, how much you respond to the situation at home. For example, I used to tell people, what if you're at home and suddenly you had a knock at the door? The husband and wife are already in the bed sleeping, and you had a knock at the door. Let's assume lion is passing by the door, knocking at the door. Who will stand up to withstand the lion? Is it the husband or the wife? That's where responsibility begins. It is the responsibility of the husband to stand up to withstand the lion, to ask the lion questions. Where it's the responsibility where you accept to enter, you don't come out. When you enter the responsibility, it's a responsibility that continues. There must be a continuous process to the end of the life. Marriage is an institution that no man can explain, but it has organogram, it has leadership. For you to enjoy the fruit of your marriage, the mission of leadership must be accomplished. The voice of leadership must be honored. You must respect your husband in marriage, and the husband must respect wife. But you must know, this respect is not, it must not come from the angle of dictatorship. We both look at things equally and provide solution equally. Yeah, the act of provision of solution maybe 10, 20, 100, it depends. But what matters is that the home must keep moving. Marriage is important. It's what all the responsive person must engage upon. Yes, that is why in any offices you want to work, a circular job, they tend to ask you, are you married? When you're up to the age, they must ask you because they want to see how much you can show that responsibility upon yourself. If this is worth it, you have the capacity, the job will be given to you. But I want you to know, husband should love his wife as is described by the Holy Bible. The husband must love his wife, put her well-being seriously into the considerations. Be faithful to her. Husband must be faithful. You are the number one in the family. When the number one is faithful, the subordinate will also be faithful. The husband must be faithful, as well the wife will be faithful. The faithfulness will transfer to the children. That's why the home will be formed. Otherwise, you can't get the dividends of marriage. If otherwise, the dividends of marriage can never form. Be faithful to her, not use a position to control or mistreat her. You don't need to stretch her. Threatening is out of system. You don't need to threat your spouse. You don't use opposition to threat her. So the wife is so important as the husband is important. It told you that there must be a space of leadership. Like Yoruba will say, there is no head without neck. The neck works with the leg, with the head. The two of them collaborate and achieve purpose. For this reason, I want us, as we are listening to this, I want certain to settle in the home where you are worshiping. The elegant life of wife or mothership is not tolerated in marriage. If otherwise, your husband or the marriage will suffer it. You have to know that you are under somebody. That is why it is very, very imperative for husband to pay the dowry of his or her wives. That is part of this total submissions in order to have a formed home. And I pray for you today, your home will be formed. Your marriage will sweet in the name of Jesus. Meet me in the next video.